Alrighty, so the official user survey is finally out. They talked about this a little while ago, and it's kind of important. Unfortunately, I've already seen somebody fill it out, and it doesn't really give you a whole lot of choice for like actual like user feedback, as far as like actually being able to type stuff out and give extended, thoughts and opinions, which is very dumb. But the survey is here nonetheless. If you actually open the game up, you'll actually see an image, like an advertisement sort of thing. For this, saying, hey, you can go and fill out the user survey at this point. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to this forum page, which will bring you here. It tells you exactly what it is, and it even has this little link right here, which brings you over to a Google document that you'll need to fill out in order to participate in the survey. So I am on the global server, so we're going to do the global server thing right here. I'm going to go ahead and put in my friend code and scroll down a little bit. Like, actually, it doesn't really matter. You guys know my friend code anyway because it's in the description. But all right, so my player rank is 100 because I am max rank at the moment. What is your combat class? I would say I don't normally hit like 300k on most of my combat classes. I say I hit around in this range right here, so I'm gonna go with this. Just trying to be honest. How much time do you spend playing the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross on an average day? I would definitely say at least 1 to 3 hours. I normally don't spend more than that unless it's like a real big video day for me or something like that. Like on patch days and stuff, I normally spend like all day on the game. But 1 to 3 is probably pretty average for me, I guess. What is your favorite type of PvE content in the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross? So they split this up actually into strategic PvE content and regular PvE content, which is kind of weird. I have to say, I guess main story is probably my favorite there. I don't really think that any of these other ones are, particularly engaging or interesting. And then for the rest of this, I think Demonic Beast Battle is probably just the most interesting thing in the game for me, per se, because I've been playing since the game came out, so there's not all of this other stuff really isn't particularly like interesting to me at this point. Like, I've been doing a lot of this stuff for forever. So moving on, what is your favorite type of PvP content? So I'm not particularly a huge PvP guy, but I normally end up gravitating more towards ungeared PvP if possible. Like, geared PvP is nice if you're like super whaley, I guess, and you have like gear sets for every character, but if you don't, you lose out on a lot of CC, and basically, if you're not out CCing the opponent in this game, you're basically losing. So not always the case, but most of the time, unfortunately. What is your least favorite type of content in the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross? So I have to say I don't really mind most of this stuff because I'm more of a PvE kind of player. So I guess if anything, I think Knighthood Boss Battle is probably the most annoying for me. I don't have access to Knighthood competition. I've been able to participate in one season of Ungeared, and it was like literally just like a week's worth of content, I guess. Like, it was just 1 week of being able to play in it, and then I haven't been able to participate in it again, which is really weird. But I don't know if they would ever extend that a little bit further. Maybe I could put some input on that. But I guess just guild boss in general is kind of annoying. You kind of have to have like a specific setup to get like really high points, and like hell difficulty is really annoying to me. Like, most of the time I don't even do hell difficulty. I did it this week just because I was kind of bored and I had the extra stamina, but the stamina cost on it is ridiculous and it's not fun. So please tell us why the content you selected is your least favorite. Honestly, I want to say it's not necessarily hard to understand, but I want to go with maybe like the stamina cost is what deters me probably the most from doing hell difficulty. But I think maybe this fits the mold a little bit more, because the whole point of doing it is to get a specific amount of points, and if you don't get the amount of points that you need, you have to replay it over and over again and try different things and stuff, and it can be just very tedious and annoying. So I think maybe that's going to fit the best description there. How satisfied are you with the new improvements made to the game? Add reward improvements, team deck count increase, fight festival shop reward improvements, training grotto auto clear implementation, main story auto battle implementation, training grotto improvements, knighthood competition and friendly match AI improvements, hero name search implementation. So obviously a lot of people aren't super happy with the training grotto improvements. I think that it still could use a little bit of, you know, improving. I already made a video on it, but I don't completely hate the training grotto anymore, like because of the new updates, but it still could use a little bit of adjusting. A lot of these are just quality of life improvements that I actually am pretty satisfied with, but because there are a couple that could still use some improvements, I'm going to go with satisfied there, not very satisfied. But obviously, you know, these are just my personal answers to these questions. Feel free to, you know, let them know how you actually feel about some of this stuff, so that way they can improve it. If you selected 1 through 3, please tell us why. These changes don't affect the gameplay. The content was improved, but it doesn't feel any different. That might be probably the best way to put it, to be honest. I want other content to be improved. The improvement should be implemented differently. I don't know the content. I did not know the content was improved. I think number 2 is probably the most accurate there. What direction should improvements to 7 Deadly Sins take at the moment? So, reduce content fatigue. I honestly don't think that there's too much content fatigue for me. Like, sometimes it can be a little annoying when they add like a whole bunch of events at one time, because it kind of forces you to play the game more than you want to, I guess, which can be annoying, because you definitely should not be playing this game like all day, every day. Like, you will burn out so quickly on this game. Improved content rewards is definitely a good choice. Improve ease of use features like icons and content access. I feel like they're already kind of doing that at a decent pace. There's not a whole lot of stuff that I just think really needs improvement at the moment, as far as like just ease of use stuff. Like, they're just kind of coming up with that stuff on their own and doing a pretty good job of it, I think. New boss content is also probably another good one, because some of the bosses that they add are just kind of just they all act the same. They just have small little differences or different mechanics that they use, which can be kind of annoying. New progression content, I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. Some of this stuff is very vague, but whatever. New event content, I think I'm going to go with improved content rewards, because honestly I could keep doing the stuff that we're doing now, but if we get better rewards from it, that would ultimately be the best thing, I think, for most players. How satisfied with you or are you with current special / festival draws? So honestly, I'm pretty dissatisfied about it. Like, it just doesn't really, most of the festival stuff doesn't feel like a festival to me. Like, it, you know, you would think that they would try to give out more free summons or some sort of incentive to bring players back to the game or whatever, not just the new hero that you're drawing for, I think, and just making sure that it actually feels special. And you know, the rates are just awful. So I honestly think rates need to be improved, which, you know, people have been saying that for the entire time that the game's been out. So I don't know how often they're gonna, or how they're gonna actually look at that, but I'm pretty dissatisfied with it, if I'm being honest. If you selected 1 through 3, please tell us why. Other than the main featured heroes, new collab, seasonal rerun, the draws don't feature the SSR heroes I want. That's not necessarily the problem. Like, sometimes the banners do have really crappy characters, like they'll throw Death Pierce on there for like the millionth time, or, you know, this or that, but they've actually, I think they've been getting a lot better about that, because it used to be really bad. They used to put like the same 10 characters on every single banner, and then the featured units would be different, of course, but it used to be just it would always be the same units. But they've honestly done a pretty good job with improving that. I don't want the new heroes, or don't feel the need for them. That is not a concern at all. I missed out on the special / festival draw I wanted to use. There's less satisfying from drawing heroes I already own, or less satisfaction from drawing heroes I already own. See, I don't really have that problem either, because I don't really go for dupes all that often. So most of the time, any draw can be helpful for me, unless it's just something that's really old. So I guess maybe this one, I don't really understand what they're saying by I missed out on the special / festival draws I wanted to use. Maybe that's saying like I wasn't able to complete like the full rotation to get a guaranteed or something. But I mean, this could also translate into like the rates not being good enough to draw the heroes. So I'm gonna go with that one, but it's just not as clear as I would want it to be. How satisfied are you with the limited time mini game events? Spin event, scraps, picnic hunt, or treasure hunt, scrap sweeper, bingo events. They're okay. Like, they're all right. I don't like particularly love them. Like, a lot of them are pretty decent. Like, the bingo events are really good and stuff, but some of them can be like take longer to complete than you want them to, which is really annoying. Which is your least favorite limited time event? Least favorite is probably Hawk's treasure hunt, maybe, because like you have to use that little like spin wheel, and like the only way to get a decent spin on it is to like slow your game down, and I think that that's really annoying. Like, I would much rather just be able to get the same rewards no matter what, instead of having to like repeat the whole climb if I miss out on something. That's really annoying, to be honest. Please tell us why you chose the content in the previous question. Gameplay's kind of boring. The event takes too long and it gets tedious. That's definitely what I want. Which of those would you like as a new event? Which of these would you like as a new event? Maybe a draw event, maybe? So would draw event be like the fever events that we've done? Like fevers were really cool, and I mean, they do free draws and stuff like that. I guess I'm gonna go with draw event here. Like, check-in rewards are always really nice too, but I think draw events like are definitely fewer and far between, so I'm gonna go with that. How satisfied are you with the limited time battle events? Honestly, kind of meh. Like, a lot of the time there's like a limit on how many that you can do, and they're just really annoying, and the rewards really aren't that great. Which of these is your least favorite battle event? Probably the event boss battles, I guess. Like, I don't actually mind the rest of these, but the event boss battles can just be really boring, kind of. Or like they're just the gimmick on them is too ridiculous. Like, we have Crocshell right now, and Crocshell, like, he's not bad, but like if you don't have Keo, it makes your life way harder, which is really annoying. Please tell us why you chose that content in the previous question. It's too difficult to find out strategy to defeat the boss. I don't have the heroes required to clear the content. The difficulty level is too high. The gameplay takes a lot of time and becomes tedious. I think that is really the biggest thing. In my opinion, a good mobile game would be a game where, you know, you're not spending an excess amount of time on something, because, you know, it's supposed to be something you can pull up on your phone, do, you know, quickly, or just, you know, you can do it in your spare time and then put it away. Whereas, you know, some of this stuff is like, you know, it takes several minutes, if not like maybe an hour or so, to complete some of this kind of thing, and that just really does, it kind of defeats the purpose of the whole mobile game aesthetic to me. So I think a lot of the times tedious content and stuff like that is the worst. So I guess that's the whole survey. Like I said, there's not really anywhere to put like additional feedback or anything like that. I'm assuming, I think that they did that last time, and maybe people were just writing bad messages or something, who knows. But I don't know, that's the survey. I think that they're supposed to be giving out some sort of rewards for it, but I'm not too sure. I think that's the reason why you put in your friend code, but we'll see how it goes. I guess we'll see how much feedback they get. Maybe they'll make a, you know, some sort of dev note addressing maybe the content or the feedback that they got, and what they plan on improving. So I guess that's pretty much it from me. Hopefully you guys will go and fill out the form and everything, so that way maybe it'll make a better game in the future. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.